Hi everybody, it's me, Alura, and I wanted to do this video for you about Earth Angels, my own experiences that I've gone through as an Earth Angel myself, and maybe you can all relate to them. So, as a child, I had memories of being in heaven and knowing that I didn't belong here, and it was often mistaken for imagination, and I just knew in my heart that it wasn't something I was imagining. I remembered God and the throne and the heavens and all of the celestial lights, and I remembered the beings there. And also, I would have conversations with an unseen entity, and I would pray a lot. Everywhere that I go, I would be talking to myself, it appeared, but I wasn't talking to myself, I was talking to God, or this angelic that was always with me. So you may be going through that too, always talking to God, and people thinking that you're talking to yourself when indeed you're praying all day, or having, memories and visions of home when you were very young, because most incarnated angels won't have their memories, but there are some that do, and there are some that will get them a little bit later in childhood. But usually the memories won't come into adulthood because that person has put a blockage up due to not accepting who they are. A lot of waking and weight loss issues through life, and that's because of the insecurity issues that we go through. Now, it's not because of being an angel, it's because as an angel, we are very insecure. So we eat for comfort reasons, and that's where the weight gain comes in, and then the insecurity makes us want to go and work the weight off. So that's the fluctuation in weight explanation. Also, you may be taken advantage of all the time. You're being kind, you're helping, you're dropping what you're doing every single second of the day to help somebody else out, and they sense it and they just walk all over you. And I go through this all of the time. It doesn't matter where I'm at or what I'm doing or who I'm with. They know, and they know that I'm not going to say no. And that's something that we need to learn to do as an Earth Angel, is to say, no, I don't think so, or not right now, because we don't want to overly stress ourselves. Even though we want to live a life of servitude to others, we have to make sure that our very own health and emotional health and mental health is okay to be able to do that. So I know that Doreen Virtue was talking about assertiveness for Earth Angels, and I think that's great. We all need to learn how to be assertive. Also, you might feel like you just want to go home all the time, having that inner sadness of being here, knowing that you want to go home. But, you might think it was an old place that you lived before, but then you realize, wait a minute, I was unhappy there. So why do I want to go home? Where is home? Home is heaven. And that would explain why you have spontaneous astral projections. You might have had that a lot as a child, being out of body. And your parents might have just shrugged it off as a nightmare, as my parents did. But it was very real. Your soul is originally connected to heaven, so it's going to leave the body at night when you're sleeping to get home and visit the family up there that we have. So that's the big explanation for that. Now, during astral projection, or after, or during some period of time, you might have endured encounters with shadow people. And shadow people could be one of two things. It could be the watchers that God sends to look after the earth and look after us, make sure things are going well. Or it could be fallen angels that are following us around to kind of put a dent in our path to make sure that we don't get through the things that we need to get through. So if you're having encounters with them, please make sure that you stay saged and cleansed, pray, and shield yourself with white light, and you should be fine. Don't allow yourself to feed into the fear. Having fear will hold you back. Also, you might be victim of a lot of psychic attacks. We're very empathic, we're very psychic, so you're going to be hit with all kinds of energy coming from every direction, and it could be from miles away. Just even if somebody thinks something negative about you, it's going to make you react to it. You might feel depression or fatigue from it. So you have to make sure that you have your aura very protected and very shielded, because we're going to be susceptible to these psychic attacks, and even electromagnetic field attacks, like having different frequencies coming in our atmosphere, can make us feel pretty down. So just stay protected and stay praying and stay with your white light protection, and that will most definitely help you. So the law of attraction is something that we have total and utmost power over. You might notice that you wish for something and it happens, or you want something bad enough and it happens. And also we'll have all of our prayers answered. We have such a connection to God that it doesn't matter if it's small or big. We ask him for help and he helps. And that just goes to show that you are really what you say that you are, because God doesn't answer everybody's prayers all the time like that. Usually he lets the humans figure out things on their own, while he still intervenes and he still helps and he does answer some prayers, but sometimes he leaves things up to the people to learn lessons from. But with us angels, he will answer every prayer that we have. So all you have to do is pray and ask for help and believe that it'll come, and it will. So something else that you might have dealt with, which I go through all the time, is judgmental people. Friends, family, even people that were considered to be against you might say, no, how could that person be an angel when they did so many things wrong in their life? Well, let me explain this to you. First of all, the things that you did wrong and the mistakes that you made were because you were meant to learn the lessons so that you could apply them to your mission later on in order to help others through the wisdom that you gained. So it doesn't really matter about what you did wrong. It was a learning process. So they don't have a right to judge you to begin with. Also, they can feel who you are. They know the difference in the energy and they can sense it. So even though they're saying on the outside, no, they can't be an angel, they really do know it on the inside who you are, because they feel the vibe. So that's just jealousy and envy and competitiveness. Because you might go out in public and you might be in a room with people that you know, and they tell you sometimes, hey, look, sometimes it seems like you think you're better than everybody else, or you come across a little stuck up. We're really not stuck up. We're the most humble, loving people ever. And it's just that the energy, they feel the angelic hierarchy within our energy, that it makes them feel like we think we're better than them. So that would explain why a lot of people are distant from you, is because they think that you think you're better than them, but really it's just because we have an angelic soul that they're picking up on, and it makes them feel that way. It's a complex problem on their part. So you just have to show them, and no matter how hard or you got to try, or how many tries you have to give it, show them that you're not what they think they are. Show them that you're loving and humble and meek, and that you're willing to help, because those are probably the people that need your help the most. We don't have a lot of friends, Earth Angels. We have no friends. I mean, we spend a lot of life alone. And, we might have romantic relationships, but they don't last very long. Or the ones that we do have will last very long, but we'll be the ones wanting to leave the relationship. And that's because we feel like our lives should be dedicated to God. And you may not know that to be the reason why your relationships aren't working out, but you will discover this later on in life, and you'll notice that I'm meant to be by myself because I need all of my time to do my mission. So if you can balance out romantic relationships and balance out your mission, that would be great. But a majority of the time, us Earth Angels, we're supposed to dedicate all of our time to doing what our purpose is, what we came here for. So even though we have free will, and we use the free will to make mistakes to try to fit in, because that's usually the only reason why we did the things that we did, was to try to fit in with the crowd, because we were so outcasted. It doesn't mean that we need to give up on our missions. The friends that you do have, the very little friends that you do have, you might notice that they're like little mimics. They copy off of everything that you do, the clothes, your makeup, your hair, the music that you listen to. They might copy off of your spiritual beliefs. Basically little mini versions of yourself when you're hanging out with your friends, and that's flattering, but you need to help that person, because they are on a self-discovery mission to find who they are, and they won't find themselves if they're busy copying off of you. So make sure that you help that person, teach them and help give them direction, but also lead them towards the path towards self-realization, because that's the most important thing for humans, is that they realize self, because self leads to discovery of God. And that's why people feel so distant from God nowadays. They don't have that connection to themselves and the knowing that God is within and not without. So you might have a lot of animals that are attracted to you, following you around, or you might have a vicious dog down the street and everybody that walks by it nips at it, barks at, but when you go up it's very calm and loving. And then when you go to your neighbors or your friends or your family's house, you'll have all the animals coming to greet you. And that's because they pick up on the innocence and the purity of your angelic origin. And also children. I have so many kids that look up to me and always want to be around me, and I'm thinking, well, I'm a grown-up, I can't be hanging out with kids, so I have to push them away a little bit, but I always give them a few minutes of my time to teach them about God and show them the wonder of life. But they sense that too. They know who people are, really. That's why a lot of kids, if you've ever been in a relationship, if you had a child while you met a new man, they might notice that guy has some kind of vibe about him and tell you, Mommy, I don't like him, or Daddy, I don't like her. That's because they read people, and they can read if you're angelic or not. And if you are, they're going to feel attracted to that God, that likeness of God within you. So you're going to have a lot of children and a lot of animals just feeling very drawn to you, and treat them with love and care, because they're the generation of the future that will make this a better place. And they don't have a lot of love and guidance in this world, because this world is full of media that's full of violence and crime and tons of sexuality, and it's teaching everybody to be corrupt. So that's why we're sent here, to help this generation to know that there's something better out there, and that something better is God himself. So I think that's basically it, guys. I think I covered a lot of the different things that go on with an earth angel. And I just want to say that I hope that you all have the best path towards ascension and enlightenment ever. I only want the best for you, and I hope that you find exactly what you're looking for on this path. Use all of the experiences that you gained from the mistakes that you made. Use them for your mission, to apply to it and to teach others about those things, so that you can help them not make the same mistakes. See, earth angels will live life. Like all the experiences life that has to offer, we'll live it within 5 or 10 years. We'll go through life very quickly and experience things that it takes some people a whole lifetime to experience. And the reason for that is because we're meant to learn about life quickly, so that we can spend the rest of our lifetime out teaching about it. So I love you guys, and I hope that this video was helpful. You can read some of my articles on aluracein.blogspot, or you can check out my website if you ever need help. And please don't feel funny to ask for guidance. Yes, you're an angel, but even angels need guidance. You need help. We don't have a guardian angel, because we can just ask for help from our relatives in heaven and from God. But sometimes if you feel a little bit detached because of what's going on in your life, you might need to reach out to somebody, and I'm always here to be that somebody for you. So love and light to you all, and God bless you in everything that you try to do.